bring the June 23rd meeting to order. Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Cullen?
Here.
Ms. Curran?
Here.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Here.
Ms. Paglione?
Excused.
Mr. Poliafico?
Here.
Mr. Parolo?
Excused.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Stiltner?
Here.
And Mr. Chicoletti?
Here. Okay, approve the agenda with said addendums or tabled items. Have a motion?
I motion.
Mr. D'Angelo? Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stiltner? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Motion carried. Okay, reports and presentations. Dr. Schaefer?
Before we do that, can I refer to Ben?
Thank you, Dr. Schaefer. I just want to make an announcement. The board met in executive session beginning at 6:35 tonight. Informational presentation by the business manager on the budget for tonight's agenda, confidential informational matters regarding facilities usage, and an informational presentation by the superintendent regarding tonight's agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser.
Thank you.
Right. We continue to work on the comprehensive plan and the special education plan throughout the summer. The district is up to date with all of the reports for ESSERS, Titles 1, 2, and 4, and have a great summer.
Okay, Dr. Schaefer. Public participation. No one's here from the public. Okay, routine monthly business.
Okay, Mr. President, I motion that we approve the minutes of May 5th and May 19th, 2022. We also approve the list of bills for June of 2022. And item C, we will approve the treasurer's report for May of 2022.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Cullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions? Under new business, item A.
Item A, Mr. President, I motion that we approve the appointment of Mary Jane Bettina Paglione as Bristol Borough School Board Vice President.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions? Item B.
Mr. President, I motion that we adopt the final budget for the 2022-23 fiscal school year in the amount of $26,664,459.
Mr. McHugh, would you, first I need a second. Second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Cullen. Mr. McHugh, would you,
Sure.
Fill
I'd
us
just
in
like
on
to
that.
thank the Budget Committee and the Board as a whole for another good year of spending. There's no millage increase in this budget. It's about a 6.68% increase from last year's budget. Included in it is the retirement rate increase, a teacher's contract increase, a custodial maintenance contract increase in medical rates, admin Act 93 increase in special education tuition, and increase in cyber charter tuition.
thank you, Mr. McHugh.
A
Go
quick
ahead.
question, Chris, the retirement, has that reached the apex now, or what is it?
It's
like
close. It was
40?
34.9
34?
last year. This year,
Alright.
it's 35.3.
And then
So it increased
next year, still going up?
very little.
Okay.
And then it starts going down.
Okay.
It goes down, really?
Well,
Oh, yeah. Okay, so thank you, Mr. McHugh, a good job, and you were very gracious in saying you met with the Budget Committee, but you just filled this in because you had everything taken care of. So basically, that's all your work. Great job.
roll call.
Okay, we need a roll call on the budget, right?
Yep.
Okay, so, Madam Secretary?
Mr. Cullen?
Yes.
Ms. Curran?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Poliafico?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stiltner?
Yes.
And Mr. Chicoletti?
Yes, motion carries. Item C.
Item C, Mr. President, I motion we approve the resolution to levy a real estate tax at the rate of $15.40 per $100 of assessment, which equals 154 mils.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cohen? Questions? Mr. McHugh, do you have to explain that one or no?
No,
okay.
154 mils has been our millage rate since 2012. It just means there's no increase to the budget from the prior year.
Okay, so this is the 12th year, no tax increase.
Correct.
11?
Yeah.
11th year, no tax increase. Okay. All those in favor, well, this is a roll call, right? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstention? Motion carries. Item D.
Mr. President, I motion we approve to reenact the resolution to levy a real estate transfer tax of 1%, an amusement tax of 1%, and an occupational privilege tax of $52.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen. So now, before I go into question, explain that, Mr. McHugh.
So the occupational privilege tax is a tax that's set for all people that work in the borough. $5 goes to the school district, $5 go to the council, and I believe the other 42 it goes to the police officers.
Okay.
Goes to what?
To the police, when the council worked out their agreement with the police officers, they enacted this tax for $42. It used to just be $10.
Okay,
And then they added it on.
thank you.
I have a question here. So the real estate transfer tax is 1%.
so the
Who
district-
sets that rate?
We do.
We do.
We set the rate of
Correct.
1%. And of that 1%, we get the whole 1%, or does the borough?
No, we get the whole 1%.
We get the whole 1%?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions, motion carries.
Item E, Mr. President, I motion we approve the attached homestead rebate resolution.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions?
Mr. D'Angelo asked me to explain this every year, so I'll
Yes.
start explaining it now. So, this year it's the gambling tax funds. This is the homestead. And, normal years, it's been about 497,000. This year, it's about 626. There's been a huge increase with the state because they're in surplus. We currently have 1,655 homes that are approved under the homestead. And Mr. D'Angelo wanted me to remind you that every year in March, you could fill out the application to have your home become a homestead. And the overall reduction on the tax bill is $378.79.
Yeah, it's a good chunk. So,
It's significant, it's a significant increase this year.
But it's never what it was promised to be. It was promised to be half of your tax bill at one time.
it was, yeah. It was.
Okay.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions, motion carries.
Okay, we're on item F here. Approve the budget transfers for the 2021-2022 fiscal year as per the attached sheet.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries.
Item G. Mr. President, I have motion that we approve the attached building and usage form.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Any questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item H.
Mr. President, I motion we adopt the revised 2022-2023 school calendar year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries.
Item, under personnel, item A. Mr. President, I motion to approve to appoint the attached supplemental positions, the supplemental rate as per the master agreement, effective with the 2022-2023 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item B.
Item B, Mr. President, I motion we approve the permission of summer days for Deborah Connard, not to exceed 10 days.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Cullen? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries.
Okay, item
C.
C. President, I motion we approve the permission of summer days for Michael Poplawski, not to exceed 10 days.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Questions?
Yeah, why the need for days in the summer?
Dr. Schaefer?
Yeah,
Did he,
it's basically,
did he start his position yet?
no, but he's under a teacher's contract.
Okay,
Okay, so this would be above and beyond the teacher's contract, Jeff, okay? And so what I need him for is for at least 5 days with me for training for what he
Good,
needs to go through,
okay.
We're gonna put him through, he's gonna be part of an AVID program to oversee the professional development and all, okay?
good. Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays, abstentions, motion carries. Item D,
Mr. President, I motion we approve the appointment of the following ESY teachers, $40 per hour, no benefits as per the master agreement, effective July 6th to August 4th, 2022. And that would be Michelangelo, Barbara Bannon, and Rocco Parolo.
do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item E,
Mr. President, I motion to approve the appointment of the following ESY nurse, $30 per hour, no benefits, as per the negotiated contract, effective July 6th to August 4th, 2022. And that would be Caitlin Zecca.
okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Cullen. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item F,
Mr. President, I motion to approve the appointment of the following ESY PCAs, $14.70 per hour, no benefits, as per negotiated contract, effective July 6th to August 4th, 2022. That would be Alyssa Acevedo, Amanda Baines, Ashley Burke, Ryan Leone, Joe Malone, Brittany Rivera, Michelle Rivera, Maria Santiago, and Samantha Viola.
do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item G,
I motion that we approve to appoint John Love in the contracted position of Assistant IT Support, effective 2022-2023 school year.
do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen, questions?
Just wanted to remind the board and the public that these, Mr. Love's salary is paid through ESSER funds and not the school district.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McHugh. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries.
Okay, item H. Mr. President, I motion to approve to create the position of a high school math teacher.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item J,
Okay, Mr. President, I motion to approve to advertise for a high school math teacher, effective 2022-2023 school year.
do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Information and
No,
discussion.
item J. We got item J here, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Item J. Mr. President, I motion we approve to hire Thomas Helkowski as an elementary pre-K through 4 teacher, master's degree, step 2, salary and benefits as per the master agreement, effective for the 2022-2023 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions, motion carries. I'm sorry about that, I was jumping ahead here. Okay, information and discussion. Next board meeting, August 25th, 2022. We'll just make everyone aware that if need be, we will come back, but we'll have plenty of notice because it takes 3 days to advertise in the newspaper. So I'll go around the horn here. Mrs. Rosado, you have anything?
I do have a couple of things.
Go ahead. I wasn't
So-
going to skip you.
I just wanted to congratulate the staff, the students, the teachers, the parents on a successful school year. Everyone showed a lot of perseverance and a growth mindset, and everyone kept on trucking. So, we got through it, and we're in a good spot. We began receiving some applications for 2 elementary special ed positions that were posted. I know a lot of people shared it on social media. I believe it's going to be posted a couple other places as well. This is a reminder that these are 2 long-term sub-1-year positions. So, if you have any questions, contact me. You can also send your resume, cover letter information to myself or Jen Moyer. And at your desk, I left an SEL program called Positive Action, just to give you a little information, because we discussed it at the last meeting. It's recommended. What's great about this program is not extra planning or anything for the teachers. It comes already to deliver, and it's implemented daily for like 15 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes in what I would envision a class meeting type of setting. And so you can see all the content that's covered by the program. I included at the bottom of your sheet a website, a 5-minute overview, where you can just go on and check it out. I was excited after watching it and seeing what it has, what it encompasses. Dr. Schaefer was also very positive about positive action, and it is something necessary that we're going to need to implement, and this would be considered a Tier 1 program because all students will receive that. So we're going to look more into that, but I gave you some stuff to look over and a website if you wanted to check that out as well. And then finally...
Can I interject here 1 second? Mr. Smith, this is something along what you were speaking about as far as SEL.
which stands for social emotional learning. We always use acronyms in education, so SEL is social and emotional learning. And then finally, I left a letter. Once again, we've been fortunate enough to host what we called a learning loss program the first 2 weeks in August for children in grades K through 4. It's a tutoring, small group tutoring. I do not want groups bigger than 3. Done by our teachers, 1 hour for literacy, 1 hour for math. The children have been referred to me by their teachers. So letters are going to go out. There's a Google form to complete if the parents are interested in sending the children. And if we don't fill up, it's a 5-hour time frame every day. If we don't get enough students per grade level, I put it out to the rest of the district and first come, first serve at that point. But if they have any questions, they can contact me. And, you know, it was tough. You know, there were a lot of challenges to virtual learning that our children and families experience. So we're going to continue to work hard to address some of the deficits and gaps that resulted in the school closure. And so we're excited to be able to do this again this year. And I believe some of those federal monies were...
Yeah, just so the board aware that that's all covered under ESERS.
And it's our teachers.
Yes. Anything else?
That's all.
Okay, so you sent a letter to all the parents. That's what you have your...
I have-
Those that were referred.
I have this here. So I have a list of referred
That were referred, okay.
from their teachers who would benefit from some small group tutoring. It'll be sent out to them first. If they decline, if they're on vacation or they're not interested, I will open it up to the rest of our children in the district.
And this is the second year, you said? we're
Yeah, we
doing
did it last
this?
year
And
as
how was
well.
it last year?
It was excellent,
Good.
yeah.
Good.
No,
So this is a great idea. Thank you. Good job.
yeah, so we're trying to, you know, remove barriers and do the best that we can for our children. And we know that when we are filling deficits and addressing deficits, that interventions need to be very intensive. So that's why we don't want groups bigger than 3. Because the bigger the group, the less intense the intervention becomes. So it's for literacy and math. It'll be based on, you know, some of the skills that the children need further support with.
Great. Good job. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Mr. Smith.
I'd like to thank everyone for a successful school year, the faculty, the administration, and the school board. This was my first full school year. I feel like I'm playing a sport. And I'd like to say special thanks to Dr. Schaefer, and I'm going to miss you. It was great working with you this year.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Have a great summer, everyone.
Ms. Karen?
I want to thank the school board and the council for putting together and running a very successful community fun day. It was a lot of fun, and you could tell the kids really enjoyed their time. I also, again, want to thank everyone on the school board, the teachers, staff, faculty, who put together a very successful school year. To the graduates, that they have a successful next chapter, and to, again, Dr. Schaefer for being someone that we could reach out to and speak to and learn from, and I appreciate all of your time. So thank you.
Mr. Cullen?
Yes. Well, I won't repeat everything Tony and Deanna just said, but I'd like to thank everybody at Sheet and they had a great year this year. Graduation was very nice. It was unbelievable the amount of scholarship money that was given out to our seniors. It was like a little overwhelming how much that, you know, they got, which I was really proud of. And then also, I had a good time last night at the Jazz at the River last night. So Mrs. Rosado, she was there. We had a nice night. And Mrs. Wood was down there. We had a good time down there. I just want to thank, that was well put together, and I was thankful that the rain held out. It was supposed to rain, and it went up being a super night down there. Thank you.
Mr. Stone?
I'd like to thank the board. I know I've only been here not very long. Looking forward to next school year. It's a great year this year. My kid really enjoyed it. He loves the school. We see it going places. Shout out to Chris for the budget. Dr. Schaefer, good luck with your next moves. And then just the graduation, how great it was. Glad I was invited. Sat up front, watched it. Maybe a couple tears shed, but yeah, all in all, it was a great experience. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Polyafco?
I just want to wish everybody a good summer. Tom, you're going to be around?
You're stuck with me to
we'll
walk
be here
for
next
long.
year.
Yeah, August, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I thought it was October.
No, Dr. Davis will take it
No,
over.
we changed that. October. No, congratulations, everybody. Great year, Kelly, Nick, Tom, Chris, Jen. See you guys in August. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Polyafco. Dr. Schaefer?
I just want to thank everyone for a very successful school year, and I want to thank the board for all of their support with everything. We couldn't do it without your support, definitely.
Thank you, Tom. Mr. Hauser?
Just want to wish everybody a happy summer.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yeah, everybody echoed what everyone said. I'd just like to take a minute to talk about someone who passed away, and he was, most of you probably never heard of him, but he passed away at 95, and his name was Leonard Snyder. And Mr. Snyder was a Bristol High grad, class of 1944. I know that because he graduated with my mother. And Mr. Snyder was he was a lawyer. He served his country. Then he was a lawyer, and then he became the executive director of the Grundys. So we know Gene Williams as the executive director now. Mr. Snyder was there for many years, and when you look at the things that man did for this town, helping along, starting with getting rid of an X-rated theater that was a curse on our town. Then helping build the new library, helping to build these, with his leadership and serving on committees with the original skating rink. He also was totally instrumental in getting rid of the railroad spur that ran, many of you don't remember it ran right through the center of town where that walking path is now. And he was such a thoughtful guy because apparently Abraham Lincoln stopped here on that spur, and he made sure that they left those rails there as kind of a memento. And, I just wanted to say that I didn't want him to, everybody to remember, because he did a lot of good things for the town, the school district, and he always did it with a real quiet kind of, dignity. And so, just everybody, if you can keep his family in your prayers, and that's it.
Thank you, Mr. D'Angelo. Thank you for that history lesson about Mr. Snyder. Not many people, realize since he's retired a while from the Grundy Foundation. But yes, he was the attorney for the Grundy Foundation. Once again, I'm not going to go through all of the thank yous, but everyone has thanked everyone. It goes down from the superintendent all the way down the list, the nurses, the custodians, the part-time people, to make a successful school year, which this year has been. The board had a task, the teachers had a tougher task, the administrators had a tougher task. Everybody trying to get back after the COVID, and we survived it. And we're looking forward to a new school year, and I can assure you the board works very hard in providing a quality education and also cost-effective. As a matter of fact, tonight when we were in executive session, we were talking about the following year's budget, some cost-cutting measures. I'm allowed to say that, right, Mr. Hauser? Yes. So just give you some information as to how hard this board works. But It is the 11th year that there is no tax increase. Programs were added this year, and I want everybody to have a happy summer and be raring to go when we come back at the end of August. And Dr. Schaefer, thanks for all your hard work.
My pleasure.
But I'm not going to say goodbye because
Still here.
we always go to the bullpen. Okay, so have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?